DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey there folks, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here at Kansas State University's College of Veterinary Medicine. Today we're going to talk about cull cows, and we're going to talk about some of the reasons why we cull cows. We're going to talk about transportation and different issues surrounding something that's a very viable revenue stream for cow-calf operations. Thanks for joining us and stay tuned for this show.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America, a place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from DocTalk here. Sure glad you joined us today. I'm going to be your guest and your host, and I hope that you enjoy the show. I really appreciate you watching the show, and I appreciate all the people that come up whenever we're out on the road. Just continue to come up and say hi. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, shoot us an email or stop me on my way by at your cattleman's meeting, and we'll be sure to get it on. But today we're going to talk about cull cows or market cows. And the reason why we've transferred from calling them market cows, cull cows to market cows is because they're a good source of beef. We are marketing these animals into the beef supply. And understanding that a significant amount of ground beef and a significant amount of steak and whole muscle cuts these days are actually coming from market cows or market bulls is important for everybody to understand. The other thing it's important for us to understand is that this represents a significant supply of revenue to the cow-calf ranch. It is estimated at 20% of the annual gross revenue on a ranch today comes from these market or cull cows. So supplying the proper animal, putting it into the food chain, and gaining positive revenue back to the operation is hugely important. And we're going to talk about a few of those options that you have to increase the revenue source or to increase what you are bringing into the ranch. When we look at culling rates, okay, the average culling rate per year on a farm is around 15%. So 15% of the cows are going to be shipped to market. So what are some of the biggest reasons why we cull animals? And number one, far going away, a third of our animals are culled because they're not pregnant or they're open. So we're going to cull open animals. We're not going to winter them. We're not going to feed them. We're going to ship them off for beef. The second one is old age. When they start to become smooth mouth or they don't have teeth and they're not able to gather forage, then we're going to cull those animals because their body condition score starts to go down, and those animals are not what we call easy keepers or good keepers at all. The next one is going to be 2% of the cows are culled each year due to replacement. We're going to take the older cows out. We're going to bring in better and newer genetics to match our market better or match our environment better, and those animals are going to be brought in. And then the last three, physical defects or injuries, 1.6%. Inferior calves, so they're weaning a calf, is really not as much, because I've yet to see anybody cull a cow that was bred. Okay, let's just get to the economics and the reality of this. The big thing is that we want to make sure that we have bred cows, that we have them on the operation, and open cows is our number one reason. When we talk about inferior defects, and we'll come back to this after we take a break, The big thing is that we have to pick the right cows to ship to market. Culling can be done to numerous places. Culling can be done to a cow kill plant. It can be done through a sale barn. But understanding which animals we're going to market off the ranch and making sure that if it is due to an inferior condition, it's not something that's going to be an eyesore or something that we're embarrassed as an industry to present to the public. We're going to take a break now and more right after these messages.
This Meet the Future Veterinarian is brought to you by Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment.
Julia Herman took a winding path to become a veterinarian with inspiration as a child from National Geographic books, then with a bachelor's in zoology and a master's in epidemiology. After graduation from Colorado State's College of Veterinary Medicine, Julia plans on finding a position that combines livestock and wildlife medicine, epidemiology, research, and public health.
Some call it a come-from-behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher. Get the new hired hand for yourself or become a distributor. Visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Calves require adequate, high-quality colostrum immediately following birth to receive the immune and nutritional support needed to fight diseases and thrive. Next-generation Colostrix colostrum replacer and supplement are USDA licensed to aid in the treatment of failure of passive transfer and contain natural maternal bovine colostrum antibodies against E. coli K99. Ask your animal health supplier for Colostrix or visit agrilabs.com for details. Colostrix makes all systems go.
Hey, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here at the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University. We're talking about market cows or cull cows. And as we left, we're talking about picking the right cow. You know, whether it's the right cow, the right equipment, the right people, the right environment. All of these things go into our decision making when we're trying to select which animals to send to market. And some of the things that we have to pay attention to is like cancer eye. We don't want to send cancer eye cows into the food supply chain because of fear of rejection at the slaughter facility. I hear a lot of producers sometimes say, well, if I can send her to the sale and get $10, I'm going to do it. I understand that it is the disposal of the animal and it is getting $10, but when we start to think about the responsibility to our industry and we start to think about the responsibility to the American consumer, sometimes presenting some of these animals, whether it's cancer-eyed or an animal that's severely lame, you know, it's not in the best interest of the animal. It's not in the best interest of the beef industry, and it's not in the best interest of the American consumer that consumes beef products. So cancer eye, visible knots, whether we have injection sites or from neck extenders or facilities, we don't want to send animals with those types of lesions. Another big area that you want to make sure that we don't send animals is lameness. And here's some of the reasons why. An animal that is visibly lame or severely lame on your ranch has to be transported. So as that animal's transported, there's the potential for that animal to actually become more injured and go down. You have to be the gauge of animals that are fit for transport. If we're moving those animals through a sale barn system where they're going to be then commingled on trucks and transported longer times periods away from to a cow slaughter facility, the potential of interaction with new animals or foreign animals on that truck could lead to the potential of more injury to that animal and the potential of that animal going down. So really evaluating that animal for lameness, the severity of the lameness, and then which marketing strategy you're going to use, you'll be able to determine, is this animal at risk of going down and being down on the truck when they arrive. If an animal's down on the truck when they arrive, the animal is immediately euthanized at the slaughter facility and then is removed from the truck because we cannot drag a downed animal. So understanding the value of that animal and understanding when it's being transported. Another thing is we never transport bulls and cows together to prevent the riding syndrome when they're transported. Other things that we want to be able to be on the lookout for is body condition score. Body condition score in the beef industry is a 1 through 9, and we want to ship cows that are in that 4 to 5 body condition score range. If the animals are too thin, they don't bring as much at the market and they don't have as much cutout when they get to the packer. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we're going to dive into body condition score, what different body condition scores look like, and the importance of, and maybe some of the marketing strategies of putting some weight on those animals, getting the proper body condition score, making more money for you, making a better product for the packer.
The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Behringer Engelheim Vetmedica, Inc.
Hello folks, this is Dr. Nels Lindberg with Animal Medical Center and Production Animal Consultation out of Great Bend, Kansas. Today's BQA Tip of the Day, we're going to visit about branding these cattle. Branding is a common procedure done throughout the United States and the world, but it's very important that we do the best we can to do that brand efficiently and in a timely manner. These cattle here turned out on right. We often brand these sort of cattle when they're turned out of confinement so that if something happens, they get spooked, they get out, we have a means of identification of those animals for that producer. There's many different producers out there. They all have their different brands. But again, the important thing when we are branding these cattle is to have adequate restraint and to be able to do that brand in a timely manner. We want to make sure our brands are functioning properly, whether it's electric or if they're still being fired by propane or wood. We want to make sure that brand is good and hot so that we use the minimum amount of time to brand those animals. Again, adequate restraint and a properly functioning brand are keys to successfully branding cattle in a good and proper manner for that animal. Thank you.
It must be an inherited trait because I have never wanted to do anything other than be in the cattle business. And it's interesting as I have grandchildren now, little bitty ones. All they want to do is go to the barn, swing a rope, and be a cowboy. It's something. It's a lifestyle that we have, the way we make a living, obviously. But it's really more than that. It gives us the opportunity as a family to be able to work together and enjoy each other's company and make a living at the same time. We've been using Triangle for years, and the reason we do it's been safe and effective, and we're going to continue to do that. We'll put the cows in the chute twice a year, spring and fall. 100% of our cattle get vaccinated with Triangle.
Broadband has become as important to us as highways. That is why DocTalk is teaming up with NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association, and rural broadband companies like Blue Valley Telecommunications in fighting for quality broadband access through the program Smart Rural Communities.
I don't think we have any idea what's coming in the future. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago what we're doing today. So in 2 years, I would guess there's things we can't imagine that we're going to be doing.
To learn more, visit ntca.org/smart or bluevalley.net. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
True Test Group, weighing systems, electronic identification EID, electric fencing, and dairy automation systems help farmers and ranchers around the world manage the performance of their livestock for ultimate profitability.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from DocTalk. Sure glad you joined us. Glad that you came back after the messages. We're talking about something that is really important to the beef industry, and that is the quality of cull or market cows. And it's hard for me to say market cows, okay? I was raised cull cow, cull cow, cull cow. The new term, market cow. So we were talking about body condition score being important, you know, making sure we send the right animal. And it's so important such that USDA now has, and always has had, yield grades that are dependent on the body condition score. And it affects the pricing in which you're going to receive when you market these animals. If we market animals, yield grade is based on basically two things: the amount of muscling that is on the carcass and the amount of fat that's on the carcass. So the more muscle, the lower the yield grade. The less fat, also lower the yield grade. So as body condition score gets lower, we're going to have a lower yield grade in these animals. But there's a caveat. There's a point in time with cows, we're trying to maximize the amount of beef on the carcass. So a animal that is going to yield a lot of muscle, so a heavy animal or a heavy carcass with low body fat, is going to have a lower yield grade but bring more money than an animal that has a lot of muscle with more fat. As we talked, fat will decrease yield grade. But as we move into these lightweight carcasses where body condition score is indicative of starvation or body condition score is indicative of no muscling and no fat, that's an animal that is actually going to receive a discount higher than what we would see in some of the other yield grades. So the three yield grades we have are breaker, boner, and lean. Breaker is our cattle that have body condition score 7 or higher, 7, 8, and 9. These have a lot of fat on these animals. These are almost obese cows. We don't see very many of these animals. Boner animals are cattle that are between the body condition score 5 and 7. And then the lean animals are body condition score 1 to 4. If we're marketing cattle that are healthy, cows that are healthy, there's about a $10 per hundredweight break on a carcass basis between a lean, boner, and breaker. So indicating that quality grade and yield grade are very important. On the quality grades, there are 3 quality grades basically for cull cows: canner, cutter, and utility. And when we move from the percentage price increase in cull cows from canner to cutter to utility, we're going to have a 9% increase if we go from canner to cutter, and we're going to have a 5% increase as we go from cutter to utility. So just like our other marketing system of fed cattle, having an animal that has muscling, have a higher muscling score or a lower yield grade with more marbling, is going to bring an animal that's going to bring more value to you. Understanding this is important, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit how you can market cows, maybe instead of just directly shipping them, maybe feeding those animals to improve your yield grade, to improve your quality grade, and to improve your bottom line. Thanks for watching Doc Talk. We'll be right back after these messages.
Calves require adequate, high-quality colostrum immediately following birth to receive the immune and nutritional support needed to fight diseases and thrive. Next-generation Colostrix colostrum replacer and supplement are USDA licensed to aid in the treatment of failure of passive transfer and contain natural maternal bovine colostrum antibodies against E. coli K99. Ask your animal health supplier for Colostrix or visit agrilabs.com for details. Colostrix makes all systems go.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Beef producers asked for it, and the wait is over. Enroflox 100 Enrofloxacin from Norbrook, now approved for single-dose treatment and control of bovine respiratory disease. With the same active ingredient and dosing regimen as Baytril 100 in beef and non-lactating dairy cattle. Choose Enroflox 100 when looking for an injectable antimicrobial solution to treat and control BRD. Observe label directions and withdrawal times. See product labeling for full product information, including warnings and precautions. Consult your veterinarian to see if Enroflox 100 is right for your cattle.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here from the College of Veterinary Medicine, talking about market cows. And when we decide that we're going to market a cow in the fall, basically we're preg checking cows, we're making a decision, this one's open. There are two things to really go into your mind. One, am I going to market the animal now? Or two, do I want to maintain that animal for 2-3 months, feed it on a grain diet, and then market the animals in January, February, in that time frame? Historically, that January, February cull cow market is higher than the November, December market. But there's some things to consider. First of all, there's what we call the white fat program. Cows that are out on grass, cows that are consuming forages, generally have a yellowish tinge to their fat from the beta carotene. If we place those animals on a grain diet for up to 75 to 90 days, that fat will actually change colors and provide a more appealing cut of meat for the meat counter or for marketing of the beef. So that's one thing to consider. The other one is I want to feed them to increase pounds that I'm going to sell at marketing. When grain prices are lower, it can be advantageous. When grain prices are extremely high, these cows aren't the most efficient at converting feed to gain, so that needs to go into the thought process. On average, you can expect about a 2.8 to 3 pounds average daily gain for cull cows. The feed efficiency is somewhere between 7 to 10, and it's more efficient the first 30 days and very inefficient to feed a cow the last 60 days or the last 30 days out of 90. While you have low gains and high feed efficiency, it's due to high dry matter intake. Using a steroid implant in these cows can be very beneficial at improving gains by 10 to 20%. The other reason why we might feed these animals is to move them into a different quality grade, to move more of them from the canner to the cutter or cutter to utility. And generally speaking, to make that shift from 64% canner to 28% cutter or 64% canner population to a 57, you need to feed those animals at least 50 days. And if you feed them longer, you will provide even more quality grade when we're taking a look at some of these animals. The big reason why we want to take a look at this, and the reason why we brought this mention up today, is that in 2007, 54% of the cull cow meat that was marketed went to be cut into ribeyes, tenderloins, and steaks. Today, thanks to the beef quality audit, the National Beef Quality Audit from the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, nearly 84% of the Cull cow cuts are now being marketed as steaks, whole muscles, ribeyes. So improving the quality, improving the cutability of these Cull cows is just something that's not only good for you as a producer and your profitability, but could be really good for our industry. I really appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for watching Doc Talk. Remember, always work with your local practitioner. And if you want to know more about what I do here at the College of Veterinary Medicine, you can find us on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. Thanks for watching Doc Talk today. I hope you learned something about market cows. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I'm going to see you down the road.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com. Doc Talk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.